Hey everybody, Joe Joseph here for thedailysheeple.com, and this is your news shot. So I go to The Sun over in the UK. Now they highlighted something that I found extremely interesting, as we're now seeing a new, if you want to call it a variation of the Black Plague, pop up in Africa. It's now in a second country, and they're basically calling it an eye-bleeding disease. I don't even think they've called it a name yet. But interestingly enough, they're highlighting the fact that the Aztecs were wiped out by an eye-bleeding disease that killed 15 million in just 5 years. That's what scientists are revealing now. And experts say an epidemic called Coco Liztili was to blame after DNA evidence on the teeth of long-dead victims was discovered. And it says as many as 15 million people, an estimated 80% of the population were killed when an epidemic known as Coco Liztili swept Mexico's Aztec nation in 1545. The word means pestilence in the Aztec language. Its cause, however, has been a question for nearly 500 years. And on Monday, scientists swept aside smallpox, measles, mumps, influenza as a likely suspect, fingering a typhoid-like enteric fever for which they found DNA evidence on the teeth of long-dead victims. Ashley Wagenier of the University of Tübingen in Germany said the 1545 to 1550 outbreak was one of many epidemics to affect Mexico after the arrival of Europeans, but was specifically the second of three epidemics that were most devastating and led to the largest number of human losses. And the cause, she says, of this epidemic has been debated for over a century by historians, and now we're able to provide direct evidence through the use of ancient DNA to contribute to long-standing historical question. Now, Wagenier co-authored a study published in science journals, the science journal Natural Ecology and Evolution. And this outbreak is considered one of the deadliest epidemics in human history, approaching the Black Death bubonic plague that fell some 25 million people in Western Europe in the 14th century, or about half of the regional population. Analysis of the DNA extracted from 29 skeletons buried in the cemetery, the Aztec cemetery, found traces of Salmonella enterica bacterium of the Paratyphi C variety. If anybody out there understands what the hell that means, obviously it's not good. And it's known to cause enteric fever, of which typhoid is an example. The Mexican subtype rarely causes human infection today. But, interestingly enough, it's showing striking similarities to the eye-bleeding plague over in Africa. So, if we use history as a guide here, and I would say that it's pretty serious if a disease like this could wipe out 80% of the Aztec population. And we often wonder why it was that the Aztecs just basically, in a very short span of time, just disappeared. Poof. We now have a better idea of how that happened. And we're starting to see similar chains of events unfold in Africa. So is this something to be concerned about? I don't know. All I can say is I hope and pray that the modern technology we have today can cope with a possible outbreak or contagion such as this. I'm Joe Joseph. This was thedailysheeple.com's News Shot. Feel free to comment below and visit our website at thedailysheeple.com. Hashtag Wake the Flock Up. Email tdsjoe@comcast.net. Have a great day, everybody.